have no other type of record of your residence, then it's difficult for us to track that.
If you work in the city, work in this university campus, you will be subject to the income tax, no matter where you live, or where you're registered to vote, if you are or not. Question about whether if you're registered to vote in the city, or not registered to vote in the city, may have a bearing on it, depending on what rules they establish at some future point in time. But you would be paying income tax on that.
Mr. Murdoch is correct that if you live in the city, or if you work in the city, if you don't live in the city, you would be subjected to the tax. So.
This is a question directed at both Mayor Schreiber and City Manager Frisno. Has the attrition of people leaving Ypsilanti been included? Has the attrition of people leaving Ypsilanti due to the income tax been included in revenue estimates?
The study did not include a factor for people leaving the city due to the income tax that I recall.
I believe the city manager's solvency plan, the budget projections do not include people leaving the city due to an income tax or a loss in public safety and other services.
This next question is also directed at City Manager Frisno, and I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit. Would the $4.2 million restore some of our city services that have been lost, or is it only a means of leveling off what we currently use?
At this point in time, that's a policy decision that will have to be made by the City Council, and I'll let Mayor Schreiber answer that question.
I think that, as I mentioned, I think in the opening remarks, that right now the Ann Arbor Transportation Authority has kindly given us half the contract. I think, at least personally, I would like to see us take control of our destiny on that and pay the full contract so we know we have bus service for our residents. If we pass an income tax, I would like to see, and this is just my agenda, I would like to see full payments on the bus contract. I would like to see a part-time coordinator that could coordinate the friends groups, the friends groups of the Parkridge Community Center, the Rutherford Pool. These are city-owned resources that city residents are volunteering their time for free, and they are working with city staff, and I think we need to have better communication. These are, I think these are really, the contract, of course, the bus contract is significant, but I think the halftime recreation coordinator is a much smaller expense. And other than that, I think we need to just keep our services where we're at, because 2012 is not that far away.
I'm going to take a minute to speak about AATA. I'm a little baffled by where the city council is coming from. Last year, through the budget deliberations, the city council unanimously passed a resolution supporting the countywide bus system with a separate bill, saying that it shouldn't be funded by the local community. That may or may not be a good position. That's what they said then. They weren't going to fund it anymore. They also took a position against designating any funds, specifically city funds, for the purpose of providing public transportation. So I don't know where they're coming from now. Have we reversed that position on that resolution that was unanimously adopted?
I wasn't on council at that time, but I think just basically the idea here is that I think in order to ensure bus service regionally, I would like to see the Ann Arbor Transportation Authority look at a regional millage that would provide bus service for the whole region. I know they've talked about that. That has its own challenges. For the time being, what we have today is a contract for bus service. And if we don't pay that contract, then tomorrow we won't have bus service. So that's why I believe that we should be paying the bus contract today.
Okay, we have 2 more questions. This is your last chance, audience members, to get your questions up here. So flag down our volunteers. This will be the last round of the questions. This question is directed towards, again, City Manager Frisno, but again, any panelist can answer. Have all cost-cutting avenues been investigated? And what other services could be cut besides police and fire in lieu of an income tax?
Well, I think the potential cuts are those that are in the proposed solvency plan. Certainly, any cuts are determined by the statutory requirements that we have to provide by state law and by charter, and then by the priorities determined by the city council. So I would encourage anyone that wants to look at what the cuts that are proposed to take a look at the city's proposed solvency plan on the city's website. And the city's website is www.cityofypsilanti.com.
While promoting websites, Stop City Income Tax, StopCityIncomeTax.org.
Okay, this question for City Manager Frisno again is, at this point, is it possible to shorten the term of the tax?
The city council has adopted the resolution, the ballot language has been approved, and so it's my understanding that the proposal cannot be changed at this point in time.
And our last question is, this is towards Mayor Schreiber, how essential are the buses to the city, and why can't they be supported with fares?
I think the buses are very essential to the city. We have a number of residents who work in Ann Arbor, they live in Ypsilanti, they depend upon the bus service to get there, and they're not necessarily high income folks, a lot of them are low income folks. I think right now that in some cases a fare increase will be a burden on them. And I think the city of Ypsilanti is an affordable city, and I think we serve our residents well, especially our lower income residents. So I am against a fare increase. I think it's better to have a regional millage that will fund the bus service, and I also think it's better for the city to be funding the bus contract and keeping the fares where they're at, because I think raising fares would be a regressive, it would be a hardship on low-income people, or people, it doesn't have to be low-income, anybody that takes the bus, it would be a hardship on them, especially people with owners.
We need to get your story straight. Last year, the city council, by resolution, requested a 25% bus fare increase to fund the bus service from the ETA, and that would have provided the revenues, it wouldn't be that half year cut. So that was a unanimous resolution. I know you weren't there for all the rest of the meeting.
I was there. There's a big difference between a 25-cent increase and funding bus service fully through fares.
Just for the information for the audience, bus fares are comprised of 3 sources of revenue, the ATA at least are. One is state funding, the second is the contribution from the local municipalities that have the bus service, and then fares make up the difference. And so as the states